we got some bloopers today. There's enough moments, I think, in this video that are blooper worthy. I'm going to throw them in the bag. So stay tuned to the end to watch them, okay? Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you are all doing fabulous and choosing to be the version of self that has whatever it is you specifically are manifesting. Yes, I hope you are. If you're new here, how you doing? Kimberly, whatever you call me, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Please feel free to share it in the comments below. Be nice. Even if you're not, it'll make me laugh, so go right ahead. This today is, I feel a necessity to talk about, and that is, discipline. Why discipline is important to our manifestation game, and why it in itself can guarantee your manifestation. Oof. Guarantee is such a tough word when it comes to manifestation, right? It's a daring word, guarantee. Yeah? Okay. First, some basic bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. Let's see. I don't think I need to tell you anything else. It's all in the drop box below. And again, if you're new, I would love for you to subscribe and come back and see me, please, especially if you're as obsessed with manifestation as I am. I like getting what I want. And I'm assuming that's why you're here, right? Isn't that why you're watching manifestation content? Isn't it? Because you want something? I want to talk about discipline and manifestation. I know I already said that. Okay. I don't need to tell you again. I want you to see discipline, if you could, as your own form of choosing self. And by discipline, I don't mean militant discipline. I don't mean you got to be so tough on yourself that manifestation becomes miserable. That's not the message. The message is the discipline to allow yourself to let go of stories, to let go of the things you're hanging on to that are not benefiting you. So for example, if you are manifesting money and yet you allow yourself to sit and remember or marinate in money's hard to come by, money's difficult to come by. You or no one else in your family has ever been a millionaire, so how are you even thinking that that's going to happen for you? All these things that are limiting, negative, and are clearly opposing what you're manifesting. If you're manifesting a specific person, why it's really important for you to stop marinating in all the things that you're unhappy with when it comes to your specific person. All the old stories, the fears. Now I get it. Some of those are just not going to pop out of your mind forever, unless of course you believe they can, which they can. But I get it. It's okay if they come back. You're still going to remind yourself that we're not going to sit in this. But where the discipline comes in, discipline is choosing yourself. Discipline is a form of self-love. Again, discipline is a form of self-love. It is choosing yourself. It's loving yourself enough to say, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's not helping me. It's not benefiting me. Reliving circumstances, and you're all guilty of doing it. I was guilty of doing it. Reliving, going back over old arguments from your specific person, reliving the moments that maybe they hurt your feelings, replaying them in your mind over and over again. Listen, I get it. You wish in those moments you had said something differently. If you really mean that so passionately that you wish you had said a better comeback, if that's really where your mind is, friggin' revise it and let it go. Okay, revise it. There, you said what you wanted to say with your sassy comeback. Revise and let it go. But replaying it, okay, you're reliving it. And you are, whether you're meaning to, utilizing your imagination for something I'm quite sure you don't want to experience again. I've made a video before where I'm like, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. But you've got to get to that. And I know that's kind of like the theme in my videos lately, but I think that sometimes we need to rehear that. We need it. We need the self-discipline. Okay? Because if you're unwilling to let things go, to move into new self, to actually experience a life you want, if you're unwilling to move past old stories, resentments, old arguments with whatever it is you are manifesting, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, if you're unwilling to do that without even meaning to, you are deciding to not have it and to not be satisfied. But when you are willing, and there is just a difference in feeling in your body when you're finally willing to say, it's not worth it. It's not worth reliving the past unless I would like to live that shit again. It's not worth it. But you got to make that decision. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I'm meaning this to you very, very passionately. It does not behoove you to marinate. It never does. Okay? Shitfucker land. It doesn't do you any good. Now, again, thoughts just come up on their own, right? So it's not necessarily your fault that a thought popped up in your mind of a memory, okay? But this is why Neville Goddard said revise, right? This is why he talked about revision. And again, Neville Goddard and any other person picking up a piece of paper and writing a book about manifestational things, they are only ever teaching from their own experience. That needs to be noted. I said this in my channel membership today, but I think we all need to remember that. Even myself, anybody else in a damn YouTube video are only talking about manifestation from their perspective and from their own experiences. So if you don't necessarily agree or love what someone is saying in a video, and that includes me, you have that option to not allow yourself to follow that belief, that opinion. That's self-love. That's choosing self. When you're unwilling to allow someone else's opinion to sway you. So from my perspective and my own personal experience, when you really want to manifest something, when you really want new in your life, you are willing to forgive. You are willing to let go of resentment, to stories, to anything that doesn't line up with what you want to experience. But it's discipline. It's discipline that gets you there. Right? Discipline. Granted, we are always ever choosing who we want to be. So when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to whatever it is your desire is, the idea is, who is that? What version of self is that has the thing that you're desiring? So who do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? But be willing to be the version of yourself that is making choices for self that benefit self. Can you see why marinating in the past, even though everything is right now, right? We're talking about linear time here for a minute. When you're remembering old events that you experienced, unless it's an event that you love and would love again to have the experience again, we shouldn't be marinating in it. And we're really never going to get around that, since we are always ever experiencing who we are, who we really believe we are. When we want love, when we want to experience love, we need to remember that that's really actually who we are. We really are unconditional love. But you got to remember that. You have to choose that. You have to be disciplined to choose that. And discipline doesn't have to be a scary word. It doesn't have to be a word that makes you feel restricted. If anything, with discipline and choosing to be focused on things that benefit you, choosing to focus on things that equal you having your desire, being disciplined is a form of love. It is. It's not restrictive. If anything, it is freeing you. And if you don't see it from that perspective, you might want to ask yourself, why? Why do you see discipline as limiting? Because it's really not. At least from my perspective, it's not. My disciplined decision to tell myself every single day who I am, and me doing my best to live as that self, has only gotten me exactly what I want. I never felt restricted. What I felt was tired of experiencing things that I didn't fucking like. This got me there. This allowed me, this discipline, to not marinate in old shit. It got me exactly what I wanted. So I know it works. I know so comfortably that if you are sincerely choosing to be the version of yourself that has exactly what you're manifesting, it will bring you what you want. When you are making a decision to be a particular version of yourself, that decision is instant. It's an instant change. It's an instant shift in state. Instant. The 3D might not look like it was instant, right? It might not look out here instant. But the shift in you was. And this will unfold to your desire. But you've got to choose it. You have to be disciplined enough to choose your new self every day. And I want to say, I was asked the other day, why do I feel tired? Why do I feel overwhelmed with manifestation? You're doing too much. You're doing too much. And you're probably doing it without meaning to, from a limited version of yourself. Manifestation, making a decision to be a particular version of yourself, should not feel miserable. It should not feel exhausting. You're doing too much. Take a look at what technique you're doing and ask yourself, do you really love the technique? Do you really enjoy it? Does it make you feel good? Do you really step into that feeling of being new self? Or do you dread doing it? Do you dread doing it? When I'm referring to discipline, I'm referring to the discipline to choose your new self. I don't mean discipline to do 90,000 techniques every day and exhaust yourself. That's not the discipline I'm referring to. I'm referring, again, on repeat, the discipline in what you are allowing yourself to marinate in. You've spent probably your entire existence believing your imagination is for kids, just like I did. No, your imagination is your powerhouse. It's your powerhouse. And it should be a delight to use your imagination for your desire. It should be a delight for you to see yourself as having what you want. Or at minimum, it should at least be neutral. Neutral, calm. Just saying. Not everyone's wish fulfilled is going to feel the same, but that's a different video. So, discipline. Are you being disciplined? Or are you allowing yourself to marinate in old circumstances? I've had a couple coaching calls lately where, and this is not just one person in particular, this is like a theme. And when I get a theme, I want to make a video because I feel like it needs to be talked about. Where they were, reminding me of the bad things their specific person did to them. Now, as a disclaimer, feelings are always valid. You're never wrong for how you feel. right? If someone was a jerk to you and just out of nowhere ghosted you, that doesn't feel good. And you're not wrong for acknowledging that it didn't make you feel good. That's okay. Don't mistake manifestation as giving that person a free pass to be a dink. That's not what we're doing here. What I want you to understand is you are justified in your feelings that it was unfair and pretty shitty for a person to ghost you or to mistreat you. But if you've made the decision to manifest that particular person back, we clearly don't want to manifest back in the version of them that's an asshole, right? So with manifestation, we acknowledge and accept that the versions we have been intermingling with were versions that were reflecting our own beliefs. So if we're in that awareness, is it going to do you any good to sit and replay those moments in your mind where they were kind of a turd? Replaying them, reliving them. When you're reliving them, you're utilizing your imagination, which, if in repetition and if in the state of consciousness where you're continuously doing this, right? We're always in a state. You are attempting to manifest it, whether you mean to or not. So, do you really think it benefits you to replay the moment they hurt your feelings? Probably not. And this also, so be wary, commenters. This isn't a place for you to judge someone for wanting to manifest any specific person back. We don't get to judge who others want to manifest, period. We don't cast judgment on things like that. At least I don't allow it on my channel. It's none of our businesses what people are manifesting. I know some of us don't like that and still want to give our opinion on it, but you don't get to do that. So mind your business before it gets pointed in your direction. Do you see what I mean? It's just not worth it. But I'm assuming if you don't want that person to show up like that old shit self, that turd version of them, you gotta open yourself up to forgiveness. Or better yet, revise that moment. Revise it so you can move on from it. So you can become a new self. But you gotta be disciplined enough to stop marinating. That's why discipline's important. Don't you want your manifestation? You know you do. So let the past go. Okay? Let it go. Try to. Be disciplined enough to try to. Okay? So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. Discipline is a cell. Back up, Kim. Discipline. Oh God, I'm hilarious. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude almost went off the road. Be easy, brother. Be easy. Blueberries be. Oh, why am I so fucking red? Discipline is a form of choosing self. Believe it or not. I'm sorry. You got Poop's Christmas blanket in the back. We're in my bedroom. Okay. We're in my bedroom. What is wrong with me today? I'm low key today. Low key. All right. Snap out of it, bitch. Okay. I act 4.